May 1st, 2011, 11 p.m. Two black helicopters slice through the darkness toward a compound in Pakistan. Inside, America's most elite soldiers. Their target, the world's most wanted man. But this story doesn't start here. It starts 10 years earlier with the greatest manhunt in human history. A hunt that would span continents, cost billions, and nearly fail. Multiple times, September 11th, 2001, the world changed forever. And somewhere in the caves of Afghanistan, the man responsible for this horror was already planning his escape. What followed was the most expensive, most complex manhunt in history. But here's what they don't tell you. The CIA almost had him, multiple times. And each time, he slipped through their fingers like smoke. The story you're about to hear involves a fingerprint that changed everything, a courier who didn't exist, and a phone call that cost $100 billion to trace. This isn't just about finding one man. This is about how a single mistake by a customs agent saved bin Laden's life, and how one lie told by a prisoner nearly ended the hunt forever. December 2001. The Taliban has fallen. al-Qaeda is on the run, and American intelligence has them cornered in the caves of Tora Bora, a fortress carved into the mountains of eastern Afghanistan. The CIA is certain bin Laden is inside. They can hear radio chatter. They have thermal signatures. Local Afghan fighters, backed by American air power, are closing in. Victory seems inevitable, but there's a problem. The Pentagon refuses to send American ground troops. They're relying on Afghan warlords who have their own agendas. And bin Laden, he's already 3 steps ahead. For days, B-52 bombers pound the caves. The mountains themselves shake. But when the smoke clears and the Afghan forces finally break through, empty caves, 20 low-level fighters captured. And bin Laden, gone, vanished into the Pakistani wilderness like a ghost. The CIA wouldn't know it yet, but this missed opportunity would haunt them for the next decade. The trail had gone cold before it even began. But sometimes, the past has a way of reaching into the present. August 4th, 2001, Orlando International Airport. A young Saudi man approaches the customs desk with a one-way ticket and $2,800 in cash. The customs agent's instincts scream danger. Something's not right. The man's story doesn't add up. With a single stamp, he denies entry. Refused admission. That man's name was Mohammed al-Qahtani. And that customs agent? He just prevented the 9/11 attacks from being even worse. You see, Qahtani was supposed to be the 20th hijacker, the 5th man on United Flight 93. But because he couldn't enter the country, that flight had only 4 hijackers instead of 5. And that may be why the passengers were able to fight back. 2 years later, Qahtani is captured in the caves of Tora Bora. His fingerprints match. And suddenly, that customs agent's decision takes on a whole new meaning. Under interrogation, Qahtani reveals something the CIA had never heard before. A name, a ghost, a man who trained him in operational security, but whose real identity was completely unknown. Ahmed al-Kuwaiti, the father of Ahmed from Kuwait. To the CIA, he was nobody, a footnote in a prisoner's testimony. They had no idea they'd just learned the name of the man who would lead them to bin Laden. As the years pass, the CIA builds a web. Abu Zubaydah, al-Qaeda's logistics chief, is captured. Then Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, the mastermind of 9/11 himself. Each prisoner a piece of the puzzle. But here's where it gets interesting. Every high-value target they capture tells a different story about al-Kuwaiti. Some say he's crucial to bin Laden's operations. Others claim he retired years ago. Khalid Sheikh Mohammed insists al-Kuwaiti is nobody important, just a low-level courier who's been out of the game for years. But Hassan Gul, captured in 2004, tells a very different story. To him, al-Kuwaiti is bin Laden's right hand. The CIA analysts are puzzled. Why would high-level al-Qaeda prisoners lie about a supposedly unimportant courier? Unless he wasn't unimportant at all. The very fact that they were lying about him meant he was exactly who they needed to find. But finding a ghost isn't easy. Al-Kuwaiti was a code name. His real identity was unknown, and he'd vanished somewhere into the tribal areas of Pakistan, a region where the Pakistani government itself had little control. 2007. After 6 years of dead ends, the CIA gets a breakthrough, not from their own intelligence, but from a foreign ally whose identity remains classified to this day. The real name of al-Kuwaiti, Ibrahim Saeed Ahmed, a Pakistani whose family had moved to Kuwait. Finally, they had a real person to hunt, but finding Ibrahim Saeed Ahmed in a country of 200 million people, that's like finding a needle in a haystack. The CIA sets up a massive surveillance operation. They monitor phone networks, track financial transactions, watch border crossings. 3 years pass. Nothing. Al-Kuwaiti has gone completely dark. No phone calls, no financial activity, no movement. He's either dead or very, very careful. Then in June 2010, something changes. Al-Kuwaiti and his brother start using cell phones again. But not just any phones. They're rotating through different devices, different numbers, different carriers. Classic counter-surveillance techniques. The NSA intercepts a call. A man speaking Arabic mixed with Pashto, exactly al-Kuwaiti's linguistic profile. A friend asks where he is. The man's response is cryptic. I'm with the people I was with before. But the NSA notices something else. This man goes to extraordinary lengths to avoid detection. His phone is off most of the time. He only turns it on when he's near Peshawar, Pakistan. And he never uses it twice in the same location. This isn't just careful. This is the behavior of someone protecting something or someone extremely valuable. August 2010. A Pakistani CIA asset spots al-Kuwaiti at a bus station in Peshawar. For the first time in 9 years, they have eyes on their target. The agent follows al-Kuwaiti's white Toyota through the streets of Peshawar, then out onto the highway. The destination, a city called Abbottabad, just 30 miles from Pakistan's capital. But when al-Kuwaiti arrives home, the CIA agents can't believe what they're seeing. This isn't a safe house or a hideout. This is a fortress. The compound is massive, 8 times larger than surrounding homes. The walls are 18 feet high, topped with barbed wire. There are no phone lines, no internet connection, no trash pickup. The residents burn their garbage inside the compound. Most suspicious of all, there's a third family living here. A family that never leaves, never shows their faces. Children play in the courtyard, but they never go to school, never interact with neighbors. The CIA realizes they may not need to find bin Laden at all. He might already be found. The intelligence is rushed to Washington. President Obama is briefed, but the certainty level? Only 60–80%. Not enough for a definitive strike, but too much to ignore. The Pentagon presents 3 options: a massive bombing raid that would level the compound, a joint operation with Pakistani forces, or a surgical strike by Navy SEALs. But each option has fatal flaws. Bombing might kill innocent civilians and destroy any evidence. Working with Pakistan risks tipping off bin Laden. The ISI, Pakistan's intelligence service, has been protecting him for years. The SEAL option is the most precise, but also the most dangerous. President Obama faces an impossible choice. If bin Laden isn't in that compound, the mission will be a disaster that could destroy his presidency. If he is there and they don't act, they may never get another chance. April 29, 2011, Obama makes the call. It's a go. The mission is codenamed Operation Neptune Spear. But there's a problem. The SEALs discover only in their final briefings. The compound is located just 800 yards from Pakistan's premier military academy. It's like hiding next to West Point. The Pakistani military will be on high alert. May 1st, 2011, 2 modified Black Hawk helicopters equipped with experimental stealth technology take off from Afghanistan. Inside, 24 of America's most elite warriors, heading into the heart of Allied territory on an unauthorized mission that could start a war. The White House Situation Room is silent except for the crackling of radio transmissions. President Obama, Secretary of State Clinton, and the entire national security team watch a live video feed from the compound. Then disaster strikes. One of the helicopters crashes inside the compound. The element of surprise is blown. Pakistani radar has detected the intrusion. Fighter jets are scrambling, but the SEALs adapt. They blow through the compound's walls, clear building after building. Room by room, they search for their target. Third floor. A tall figure appears at the end of a hallway. After 10 years, 7 months, and 20 days, Osama bin Laden is dead. The news breaks around the world. Americans celebrate in the streets. The mastermind of 9/11 is finally gone. But the true story isn't about that final moment. It's about the decade-long journey to get there. The missed opportunities, the lucky breaks, the lies that revealed truths, and the customs agent who never knew he'd changed history. It took a fingerprint in a cave, a name whispered in an interrogation room, a phone call intercepted by satellites, and a car followed through the streets of Pakistan. It cost over $100 billion, involved thousands of agents across dozens of countries, and nearly failed more times than we'll ever know. The compound in Abbottabad stands empty now, a monument to the longest manhunt in history. But the real monument isn't a building. It's the proof that sometimes justice delayed isn't justice denied. That was the real story of how they found Osama bin Laden, not the Hollywood version, but the decade of patient detective work, technological surveillance, and human intelligence that made it possible. If stories like this fascinate you, hit that subscribe button. We dive deep into the untold stories that shaped our world, from intelligence operations to historical mysteries that most people never hear about. And let me know in the comments, what part of this hunt surprised you most? The customs agent who stopped the 20th hijacker? The lies that revealed the truth? Or the fact that bin Laden was hiding in plain sight all along? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.